You cannot make this shit up. I want you to understand how insane that sounds to me. And she came in, I'm my character. What fucking character? I made a baby because I wanted to. Okay. Why did you do it? And I asked the initial question, how much did you charge for submission? No cost, because she wasn't the least bit submissive. Not the least bit submissive. She came through the door with attitude, and I think some of the worst women to deal with are Christian, Bible-thumping, entitled, righteous baby mamas. Some of the worst. Oh my God, you cannot make this shit up. Enjoy that one. Wow. Wow. So my critics and detractors, listen, don't get hung up on me. Listen to how women talk about men.
I was over here falling asleep. Let me take my scarf off. Hold on. Okay. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how old are you?
32.
Are you single or are you married?
Single.
Okay, your head's off the camera, man. Okay.
I ain't taking my scarf off. Oh God, I look like that.
You're taking your scarf off and go away. I don't know why these people get off thinking what they. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. I find it funny that so many of my critics and detractors spend so much time worried about my tone and my words, and you don't listen to the venom and the sarcasm and the disrespect and the disdain that comes out of women's mouths when they're just talking about men. But I think it's funny when women get fed up listening to women's bullshit, they can say whatever the hell they want to. Gentlemen, this stuff is going to be studied. We are seeing a pathology play out that is really rather crazy. I mean, wow. And I want you to understand, we got righteously indignant baby mamas. Hello.
Hey.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. Okay, let's reset. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
All right. Any children?
One.
How old is your child?
Oh gosh, you're gonna kill me, but he's 3 months.
Uh-oh.
But you know what? I want to say this as well. I would be considered a high value woman. I feel like
you would be considered a high value, or you would not?
I would be.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I make the income. I have that self-confidence. I have that, I watch your lives. I can't believe you just even, like, this is great.
So you have the money, you have the self-confidence?
I have the self-confidence. I have been in multiple relationships where, I have been proposed to. I did just have a child. I've been with my guy for a few years, so I know you may,
y'all still together?
We are still. Hold on. Go put him back in your mom's room, just really quick. Go put him back in there real quick.
My mom. Are you still with the man?
Angel, I'm on Kevin Samuels. Get your nephew real quick. This is real.
Oh my God.
Got out it. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah.
You got to get that under control. All that background noise and all that stuff. How do we do that?
So yes, I am what some, may consider a high value woman. I make the income. I am a serial entrepreneur. I just had my first child.
Ma'am, stop. I'll let you speak, and now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, because if you're with somebody, but I'm going to just be direct. What you just described as a high value woman, men don't give a shit about that. That does not make you high value. Low. See, I let you talk.
Okay, sorry.
And you can tell me some. I don't know why you ladies feel so damn comfortable with some. Just because you can make that up. No. But if you're with the guy, congratulations. I'm going to leave it alone. Are you guys getting married?
So,
That's a yes or no.
are we going to get married? That's the
Uh-huh.
spot. So, we've been,
Excuse me? Yes, you broke up.
hear me?
You broke up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So, I would say yes. Has he proposed? Proposed? No. We
All
have
right.
together. We've been together for a few years. So
Okay, have a good evening, ma'am. I mean, I don't want to, you're engaged, and the things I would say to you may wreck your relationship. But I will speak in general. You know, when women are married, I try to kind of let that be because they've already been selected by a man. But I just want you ladies to ask yourself, did you hear submission requires good faith and humility? There is a peacefulness that comes along with women who submit. It's not something you do with your teeth gritted. And I just want you to ask yourself, as you listen to women, are you hearing humility and good faith? If I put most women who speak, put their voice in a changer, you would think that the person speaking is a man by what comes out of their mouths. It's insane how many women think, I'm a high value. That's not what men care about. Some guys do. Okay, some guys. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember, the women who tend to make these arguments, all unmarried, the majority have kids.
Hi there.
Hello, how
How
are
are
you?
you? Great.
Good, how old are you?
I am 27 years old.
All right, you need to turn your volume down a little bit.
Turn it down?
Yeah, you're getting kind of a reverb.
Okay.
Okay, are you single or are you married?
I am in a relationship.
So you're single?
Correct, I'm not married.
All right, you have any children?
No.
How long have you been in your relationship?
About 4 months.
About 4 months. Do you want to be married one day?
Yes.
Okay, how much are you going to charge for your submission?
Submission in my lifestyle is trust and being a provider. So to put a money,
Trust in what?
you want a number on it?
No, you said in your submission, you said it's the trust in being a provider?
Yes, being a head of the household, like I just expect him to lead and me be able to trust his word.
Yeah, but how much are you going to charge for that?
I'm gonna charge what it takes to
No. Give us a number.
a
An
number.
annual number. How much are you going to charge annually for your submission?
Our mortgage, the head of
Okay,
the house.
I'm trying to be respectful. You know what I'm asking. Why are you resisting answering the question that's asked?
I personally feel like it's the number on it is the rent or the mortgage of the home. Personally, if we have to put a number on it, we're putting the rent, the mortgage of a home on it.
You don't, okay. How much is a rent or mortgage?
Let's say
It depends on where you live.
Of course.
See,
So let's say
the reason this question is
3,000.
effective, gentlemen, is because it makes women actually ask, and you see how they squirm. You're squirming, and I'm just asking, how much are you going to charge? Meaning, how much does your man have to make annually for you to choose to be submissive to him?
Over 6 figures.
What does that mean, ma'am? Over 6 figures?
Over $100,000 a year.
All right. I'm really trying to be patient. I'm about to not be.
Okay.
And if that happens, it won't be because I haven't tried.
I understand.
Over 6 figures. Put it in a ballpark, ma'am, an approximation.
Oh, approximately
No,
over
ma'am, give
100.
me a number. Closer,
Give you a
round it to
number?
the nearest $10,000.
Let's say 250,000 a year.
What state do you live in?
Florida.
What city?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
City?
Miami.
Okay. Do you want children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Do you want to be a housewife or do you want to have to work?
I work, but I'd
Do
like
you want to
to,
be a housewife or do you want to have to work?
I'd like to be a housewife.
Okay. $250,000 in Florida don't go very far with family of 5.
Correct. But I do make
Housewife don't make nothing.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah. All I'm asking is, see, this is a good question for you guys to ask women because you see how they're trying to do the calculations, and what they're really saying is, I charge a hell of a lot of money to submit, but I don't want to say it because it sounds bad.
You're right.
But y'all don't mind charging it.
I mean, I would like a financially stable man. I personally have set that tone. I want a man that makes a certain level of income so I can cook and be in my feminine place.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. Okay, so like I said earlier, when I was talking to people, how did you set your price?
I set
How
my
did you
price.
set your price? Yeah, because you said you were like a man who does X, Y, and Z. How did you set that number?
How did I set that number? I looked at the cost of living where I live and what I make and what I would want from my man to make from the very first date.
And you're 27?
Yes,
Did you go to college?
yes.
What's your degree in?
Communication and conflict.
What do you do for a profession?
I would do e-commerce. I own e-commerce brands doing around 7 to 8 figures a year.
So, you set your femininity price based upon what you want your man to make based upon your income.
No. Well, yes and no, because I'm not looking for a man to make equal or greater income, but I am looking for him to make enough to sustain
Ma'am,
the
you
lifestyle.
he has to make more money.
Well, he has to make enough for the lifestyle I'm looking for.
Right. And what is that? A Lux lifestyle?
At least $250,000 a year.
$250,000 a year today with no children. That's what you're not adding.
Yes, today with
See, what they're basically, no offense, but y'all don't think about anything else other than yourselves. He has a lifestyle. He has to pay for your lifestyle, and he has to pay for these kids. So how much is he going to need to make to replace your income?
Probably double that, honestly. If we're being realistic.
Well, if you're a business person and you're charging for your feminine submission, don't you think you should know how much a man needs to make to afford it? Because
Yes.
you said 250, and I just said not in Miami, but you're talking
right.
like a single woman. But you're
right.
on the
Being
market.
modest. I was being modest, but I
wasn't being modest. Modest. I just don't think you were given the number, factoring in kids and what it's going to cost.
Correct.
So how much is a man going to need to make then for your submission?
At least 7 figures in a Miami lifestyle with 2 children.
7 figures. Now, what did your mother and father do for a living?
My dad buys and sells private jets and refurbishes them.
Did your mom do?
My mom was a traditional housewife.
Okay. Did your mother raise you to be a traditional housewife?
Yes. I was raised to cook. No matter what time it was, I will say that I was raised to cook breakfast every day.
Traditional housewives don't run e-commerce businesses.
Correct.
Traditional housewives generally are married before 25.
Correct. I don't know why I paused.
So
Can
there's
you?
I was only married before 25.
There you go. Correct.
And then what ethnicity do you want your husband to be?
Preferably a minority, preferably.
Oh, goddamn. I said ethnicity. Why can't y'all a minority?
Ethnicity would be if he was
Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or other. Which one do you prefer, man?
preferably black.
Now, I want you guys to understand something. Men are very simple communicators, direct. And I want you guys to go through my videos and listen to how many times I ask a direct question and I get some vague bullshit indirect answer. This is the technique women typically do to try to frustrate men to get out of our frame. It's a control tactic. It's what girls learn in order to, and it's when they learn this as little girls to exert their influence. You know exactly what you're doing. I'm just calling it out. It's not cute, it's not funny. It's really not. But I'll do this because you think you're getting something out of it, but you know the question I'm asking. Answer ethnicity, a minority.
No, I prefer a black man making.
Then why not just say that first?
Getting more comfortable, so.
Excuse me?
I said I'm getting more comfortable, so I'll
Are
be
you black?
Yes.
Then why not just say black?
You're right. Black man making over $1 million.
Right. How many of those in this country?
Less than 1%.
Give me a number.
A number? Probably less than 10,000. It's probably a very small number.
Yeah, very small. Mm-hmm. How old do you think they typically are?
Over 25. $30, $35. I think that's a good range for a man making 7 figures.
At what age does a man hit his financial stride?
30. You tell me.
Well, ma'am, you said your mom raised you to be a traditional housewife, and you said your dad sold and bought jets. If you were raised to live in this lifestyle, I would think you would understand the economics behind it, the setup behind it. But as we talk, you were raised to be a modern woman because you're talking like one. You have a business. You want this lifestyle, Lux lifestyle, and you don't even understand. You don't speak like a woman who understands who these men are. You just know what they have. 45 to 55 is when a man hits his financial stride.
In 2022?
Excuse me?
In 2022, when there's so many different avenues?
Use the census yourself.
Okay.
That's what it is, ma'am. How do men legally make so much money early in their career?
Tech companies, NFTs, and crypto.
Oh, and that's what you guys understand. And I'm saying that. And I want you, ladies, and I'm glad you said that because you don't think you mean this, but women, y'all think it's just magic. Y'all think that it's just because technology exists that all of a sudden the structural limitations on higher income just went away. Just because the internet exists, smartphones, Google, crypto, and technology, does that change the percentage of men at the top?
I don't feel like it changes the percentage. I feel like it changes the age.
No, it doesn't. Not appreciably. Because what profession? Okay. Shaq just sold his house. 76,000 square foot house. Shaq, you know who he is, right?
Correct.
Big Diesel. Uh-huh. What profession do you think, what was the profession of the person who purchased that home? What do you think it was?
Tech. Anything internet based.
This fucking house was bought by a dentist.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
And that's the problem. You want men in this category you don't know. Like Chris Rock. I live where I live in the gay community. My next door neighbor is a dentist. What professions, what are some of the top 10 highest earning professions in this country?
In this country, from what I was aware of, I did think it was Silicon Valley type professions, things that were software companies.
That's one industry. What other ones?
What other ones? E-commerce brands, e-commerce owners. And then obviously then you have people in the medical field, and then you have people in oil and motor and things like that, or even just automotive.
Have you ever dated a millionaire?
I have.
Seriously?
No, I
That
have.
through marriage?
It didn't get that far because of my lack of submission.
I thought you were raised to be a traditional housewife.
But I had to go to therapy. I had to learn a little bit how to take a step back and be in my feminine place. I'm not going to sit here like I didn't have an ego problem when I first started making money, like a lot of women.
Do you think that's worth $1 million?
I think that going to therapy and understanding as a woman I needed to change is worth $1 million, yes.
It was a McLaren, but the motor blew up. And the transmission got locked, and it was involved in a wreck. But because you took it to the mechanic and it made it look and almost like new, it's worth brand new prices.
I feel like you're comparing that situation if I had a child or I was married.
No, I'm comparing the situation that you're 27, you've got a lot of ego. Fine, cool, but that runs out because pretty is a dime a dozen in this world. There are plenty of pretty women who are married to
but
peace and kindness. Men who sell insurance. Men who make the kind of money you're talking about, what do they want more than anything else?
For me to make their life easier. And peace.
They want cooperation and peace with it, but are you peaceful?
Very peaceful. I've learned that's happened. That's come on with time. It's definitely come with time.
So I want you folks to understand that $1 million is an insane amount of money to put on but you're fine. But in order to get that, you have to understand who these men are. And I've just showed you that you don't understand what they do. So how are you going to be around these men if you don't know what they do? You don't know their environment. That means to me, you haven't studied these men at all. So how are you really going to provide any peace to a subject you are ignorant about?
I'm going to take a step back and understand the environment that I want to be in and what I can bring to the table to make $1 million man.
Yeah, what if you get a man that's making about 55 to 75?
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It's just going to be an issue.
Oh, cool.
I feel like I can have a standard. I don't have any children.
You can have it. No. See, the funny thing is when women do that, when women say you have standards, it's supposed to be okay. But if a man were to say something about weight, then it's toxic. Your $1 million standard, you can have whatever you want, but you're 27. And the reality is, competition is fierce for a very select few men. You don't know what they do. You don't know where they are. You don't know their profession. And why I'm doing this is because you said you were raised to be this way, raised to be a traditional housewife. There's nothing traditional about you. You're a straight modern woman. And
so what is the ideal traditional woman?
Modern women, especially attractive women, end up getting flued out, wined and dined until they're 30. Then we move on to the 25-year-old version of you. That's what happens because you don't capitalize on the things you were taught or you knew in your youth because you were trying to hold out for a better deal, not realizing that you're not the prize. He is. That's what happens. And Miami is ground zero. So you should see this. So how has living in Miami helped you better land a millionaire?
I can definitely definitely say I've seen more of a more financial, environment of those types of men. But again, the men in those professions that you're speaking of aren't living in Miami. They're living in probably Boca or Fort Lauderdale. I don't think
Men, the top paying professions are medical, not tech. Why am I doing this, folks? Because you're, whether you understand or not, you're pretty emblematic of many women today who want an extreme amount of money. Is your father a millionaire?
yes,
Was he a millionaire at 25?
29.
Mm-hmm. And you said you did have a $1 million guy, but so top 20 jobs: software developer, dentist, like I said, 3 effing times.
We're both right,
Lawyer.
though.
Excuse me?
We're both right. Software and
No, we're not
dentistry is
both
on the
right.
same
No,
list.
no, we're not both right.
But we have the same.
You said tech, man. You said tech. Women,
I did
today,
say software.
today women want to use tech to mean anything that has to do with a computer. That's not tech. NFTs and crypto is not tech. This is sign language. This is why right here, and I want you to understand, what you just saw, therapy didn't work because you're still trying to be right.
I thought we could both be right, but okay.
Okay, the difference is you're the one that's still trying to land the guy. I'm the one that talks to the guys who look at you ladies and say, I'm not going to give her, no. She may be cute, but she's too unmanageable. Even the way she talked to you. Because you got to understand, the kind of man you're talking about, he has to bring around his colleagues, his clients. And this little back and forth that you've done here would fuck up a lot of money.
I would never do that.
Okay, of course not. Remember, my pit bull never bites anybody. That's what it always is. Software developer, dentist, lawyer, surgeon, physician, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, financial manager, information security, psychiatrist, data scientist, pharmacist, registered nurse, statistician, sales management. And they're getting more. But most of the high earning positions in this country require professional license. And the reason people do this tech shit is because tech is this vague stuff that anybody can do and make 6 figures. And they think because you can make 6 figures, it can turn into 7, and it fucking doesn't. It requires certifications, professional schooling, and then it requires long hours, networking. How in the hell are you going to be a wife and run $1 million business and marry a man that has to work 16 hours?
You're right. I'm going to have to take a step back and be my man's support
You're going to have to buy a French Bulldog, Shar-Pei, Schnauzer. That's much more like it. Because the men that you would naturally fit with, because million is extremely high. I would put you in the top 15 or 10%, but not million. That's a very different category. And those guys, you would think are beneath you. If a guy made $85,000, you'd be thinking he's beneath you.
I wouldn't consider him beneath me. I feel like I would have a hard time trusting his ability to provide for our children and our home.
So what's more important, people or your lifestyle?
The ability to provide, so people.
No, ma'am. If a man is making $85,000, he can provide. He just can't provide a luxe lifestyle. I asked the question exactly how I asked it.
You're right. So money is going to be over for the lifestyle I'm looking for.
No. What's likely going to happen, because if I put you in the room with these men, they would find you attractive. But let's go down that path. Are you okay with sharing?
Sharing my relationship with another woman?
Yes, for sure.
No.
100%.
No.
So, you want a millionaire
Would
and
you drink out of a water bottle after me?
excuse me. You want a millionaire. Because I asked you what's more important, people, relationships, and money. And at least you're aware enough to know, and I'm not going to call you shallow, but people will call it vain. That's cool. A lot of attractive women really are vain because you get shit given to you because you have pretty privilege. But I crisscross this country talking to women who are as attractive or more, who are single as hell. Matter of fact, they are headquartered in five cities: Los Angeles, Houston, Chicago, New York City, and Miami. Pretty professional prison. The men that, if your ego was in check, you would more likely be able to get with a guy who's top 15, top 10% earner, but you don't trust his ability to provide. He's in the top 15 or 10%, but he cannot provide Dior or Hermes. But if that's what you require, please, why should that man only have one woman?
Because I wouldn't ask him to drink out of the same water bottle another man drank out of.
Stop trying to be cute. No. When have men in the top 1% in any monetary system, any system of government, any country, any time frame on the planet been strictly monogamous?
You're right. There's not a lot of monogamy left in a lot of countries.
No. Not in top 1% men. When have men who are royalty or nobles ever been strictly monogamous?
We're not seeing it, no.
So then why do you get it?
In this day and age, there's a very high chance I'm not going to get it, but I do like to believe in hope that I can achieve it.
So you want to set yourself up for failure? Because because if put you in a room with a guy who's making $80,000 and you wouldn't trust his ability to provide, and put you in a room with a 7-figure man and he says straight up, "Oh, you could be my wife, but I am going to have 1 or 2 women on the side," you'll know about it.
Mm-hmm. At least we're getting honest. At least
we're going to be real honest, because here's the question: can you roll with it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I can pull up some women right now that I've talked to about this concept for several months, who women you would say, she got far more than me, and they accept it. I've learned this from these women. So, ma'am, I'm asking you, if you want these millionaire men, cool, let's roll down there. You don't get strict monogamy.
You're right. In 99.9% of situations, we're not going to get it. But
so you're still holding out for the 1%? You're still trying to hold out for the 0.1%?
No, of course not.
Is it better to get the lifestyle you want and have to share your man, have no man, or have to decrease your lifestyle?
I do feel like it's better to share my man and have my lifestyle and my family. Yes, I do. I would take that over being alone. Come on now.
No, I don't know, because the way you're talking, you want it all.
No, I would settle. If I had to settle, I would settle for my family and my lifestyle with a high value.
What would you be settling? Why?
I'm sharing.
Man, he's the asset, not you. He'd be selling for you. See, that's the women who get with these men. They have that. They understand that's the bag.
That's the catch.
But you, and I'm no offense, but what tends to happen with attractive women is you get so much attention. You think that men at this level, and you think you can treat all the men at the same level. And I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, dear heart, I know the men you're talking about. And they're like, yeah, I'd kick it with her for a little bit. I'd spend 30, 50 on it, and then I'm out. I'm not gonna try to manage this. They're not gonna work with you. They're not gonna try to train you up. They're gonna just go ahead and 1099 girlfriend you out. Here you go, baby girl. Here's your severance package. What's your friend's name or your sister? I'm not joking. I'm dead ass serious. I'm dead ass serious. And you can collect Birkin bags and Mitzvahs and all other kind of stuff, and Kelly purses and Chanel bags. You can collect all that stuff. But at 30 years old, if you have not secured, well, actually it's 27. If you haven't secured it, you're going to have to start making discounts. So,
And the discount being monogamy.
oh, with a $1 million man, you can automatically write that off. You would be better off understanding that at best, you'd be lucky if you could get a man like that to marry you. So that should be where you set your limit. Whatever he does, he marries me, I'm good. Whatever he does, that's fine. That would be a better attitude other than trying to control what he's doing. Because what you've demonstrated here is your tolerance for anything other than that doesn't exist. So it's either that or nothing. You know what's extremely sad? 55-year-old used to be pretty women. And there are a lot of them.
I would take my family and my lifestyle though over monogamy. I've said that.
Well, that's a better mindset to be in, but then you still gotta get it.
I do. But
And what we've shown is you don't know them, so how are you going to get them? They're not even in your social circle.
I wouldn't say they're not.
Here's the funny thing, in these focus groups, and I'm gonna tell you, when I start putting these men on camera and they start telling you themselves, you'll see it. When you start hearing that you're not even in the places where they are. And I'll tell you how I know that, because as soon as you said the age range, you're out.
I feel like high value men most of them are very boring, especially in those professions. They're hanging out in different places. I would have to change where I'm going.
You feel like they're boring?
I do. I definitely feel like the professions, they're definitely boring, and they're in different places. So I would have to change where I'm going to put myself in those environments. I don't think that they're unobtainable. I have to make the changes to go to those rooms.
The men who make millions of dollars have boring lifestyles.
I feel like a majority, they're living a life of peace. They're not out here in clubs and bars. They're living a life of peace.
Folks, I just let that run. I let that run because the arrogance it takes to make that statement is mind-boggling.
You're a 45-year-old
Mind-boggling.
in a club.
The men who make millions of dollars have to live a lifestyle of structure. They work a lot. And this is why I want you guys to understand that it doesn't matter from average to over here. They all want everything. You want a millionaire. You want to be a housewife. You want to have a luxe lifestyle. You want monogamy and you want excitement. French Bulldog, Shar-Pei, Yorkie. You're laughing now.
Because I'm saying if I'm giving up the monogamy, what's stopping me from going to those places where that high value man is?
Nothing's stopping you from going there, but why would he pick you?
Because I'm, again, bringing that peace and that making his life easier.
Man.
So you don't think that I can bring peace?
No, I don't. No, not you. No, I think you're another Bill. Women like you require a lot of attention, and you're high maintenance. High maintenance is opposite of peace. You're a side chick.
Why would I be high maintenance if I?
Because, man, listen, I'll tell you. You're high maintenance because you require luxury lifestyle. Listen, you're high maintenance because you require luxe lifestyle. That means the women who normally get these kind of guys get with these guys when they're in process and they build with them. You want to be standing at the finish line with pom-poms waiting for him to get there. Matter of fact, you don't even want to be in the finish line. You want to be in the executive seat or the box on the yacht, and you just want to show your titties and smile and say, take me. And he's like, all right, I fuck you.
Wow.
I do this with you. And we may make some pretty babies. Let me put about 2 or 3 million into this because she is going to go left, sign this prenup, because you're getting a prenup. Sign this, and here's your exit clause. Now, because she is going to go left because she requires a luxury lifestyle, you're already going to be a loss leader. And they're going to have other women because you're not in it for him. You're in it for you. That, by definition, is not peace.
So how how can I be, I just want to know if I'm a modern day woman with a substantial income, equal or even greater in a sense, how can I not make our life easier in a relationship in
Because
any
you
way,
want to be
shape,
a
or
housewife,
form?
your income doesn't matter.
I could pay a light bill. I can cook. I can
Ma'am, how
clean.
come there are women who make more money than you who can't get men at their financial level?
I feel like a lot
Ma'am,
of
I
women,
ask you a question. Listen.
because they
Stop.
because they
Listen. Women, there are women, like, you can look at entertainment and see this often. Why are women they want their peers? They'll work, people will make records with them, make movies with them, but they can't marry men at their level or higher because those men have options and they want something different. Women who have the bag have to marry down. You want to marry up.
so I bring nothing to the, so my income, okay, we'll take away my income. My ability to be a homemaker doesn't count for anything.
I didn't say it didn't count for anything, but it doesn't count for $1 million. What?
But what,
Okay, ma'am, let's be reasonable. If your ability to be a homemaker or whatever it is you bring to the table was a product, what would differentiate your product from other products on the shelf?
it's
Is it the
100%
content?
vegan.
Huh?
The contents, it's vegan. It's not damaged. I don't
It's the
have any
packaging,
children.
man. You're trading on your packaging more than anything else because I haven't heard much of content. Contents, because contents don't need to go to therapy because they were egotistical.
But the ability to change and listen to my man in a relationship and allow my man to be that leader that preach, provide, and protect should count for something.
Not millions of dollars. They don't want to. The men that do this don't let you allow nothing. The women come over there with whatever you like. See, you're used to being in control. And you keep leveraging what you have, and they're like, I don't care about that. I'm being
But
honest with you. Man, and the thing is, okay, you're not going to be on top. He's in charge. You are secondary. It's about him, not you. And what I'm getting from you is your life is about you.
but my ability to cook for my providing husband or boyfriend or man doesn't count. For to get up at 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. because he has to be at work at 6 doesn't count.
Ma'am, there are women so what makes your meal better than the meal that the woman who's married to a man making $50,000? What makes your meal better?
Consistency.
Ma'am, she's
Consistency.
cooking consistently too.
Consistency, and I feel like the ability to make his life easier. I'm
Okay,
paying
let me
him.
stop.
I'm
Let
not for
me ask you
liability.
a hard question. Let me ask you a
Okay.
hard question, okay? Okay. Um, you're familiar with an actress by the name of Gabrielle Sidibe?
I'm not familiar.
Familiar with Lizzo?
Okay.
Are you familiar with her?
No.
The musician? Okay. Let's give it. If you're an average looking woman, a solid 4 or 5,
Okay.
would you be making the same demands?
No.
Thank you.
But considering, you know,
If you were a 4 or 5, you would be bringing the same things you're bringing to the table, but you know you could not demand what you're demanding now. That's why I said, if you were a product on the shelf, what substantially differentiates you from other products, women? Is it the contents? You just said no, it's the packaging.
so we'll be direct then. Yes. Okay. Feel like I have a little bit of I can ask for what I'm asking for because I'm not a 4 or 5, you know. Let's just go into weight, size, face, the way
Yeah, you're attractive. You can, but
my
the thing is,
appearance and my ability to cook that same meal and look a certain way, because let's be real, these high value men do want a woman that they can bring outside and be proud of. You know, you do have to look a certain way. They're not bringing just anybody outside.
I really wish I could bring some of the women I've talked to this week and let you stand next to them, because then you'd be like, ooh, shit. Because, because here's the thing, who are you comparing yourself to? You're comparing yourself to the average woman walking around. And I'm saying that these men don't deal with average women. They're dealing with women to where you're the lowest level.
Okay.
Okay, if you're the lowest,
But what is making the lowest level?
If you're an 8, if you're around Beyonce, there's still Kelly Rowland and Rihanna. Okay. And Beyonce, you had to put in 7 years to get Jay-Z. The difference is the attitude. And what we're showing is when you're a pretty woman, far too often you guys trade on your looks and not the substance. And where it shows up is when you start demanding things that only your looks qualify you for.
I have pretty.
Man, you just said if you were an average looking woman, you wouldn't be asking for what you're asking for, which means internally you don't qualify for it. From a content character, my value female standpoint. So you're doing it on looks. Cool. Don't you think those men up there recognize that she got the look, but she doesn't have the shit to go a long distance? Let me ask you about your, when's your last relationship?
My current relationship that I'm in or previous?
Previous relationship.
Previous relationship was a few years.
When was it?
Before the one that I'm in.
In the last 3 years?
Yes.
Was he a millionaire?
Yes.
Why did he marry you?
Because of my attitude.
Who ended the relationship?
I did.
Why?
I didn't feel like I was in a position to be feminine. I couldn't relax. Does that make sense?
I said that on Monday, folks. What you see for a lot of modern women is fear. They can't relax. And I want you to understand that that relationship is an employer. These men run background check. And they look at your last relationship and they say, a millionaire had you and you couldn't act right with him either, huh? And you left him. Okay. Man, what I'm trying to get you to understand is, yes, your looks may put you in a room, but as hard as it may be to sound, and hard as it may be to hear, what you said is much more of a fun girl or a side chick, not a wife.
But if I'm able to get into a relationship with a millionaire and not be in fear, and I'm being in my feminine place, why are you shaking your head? No, I'm still I'm in a feminine position.
How long do you think, by what age do you think that's gonna happen?
It happened. It definitely happened, but I was humbled. I just needed a situation where I could relax and trust that.
Are you getting married? Are you getting married?
100%. I definitely think that.
How long you guys been together?
4 months. We'll check back in 2 years, and I will send you.
2 years? 2 years?
I think it would definitely take at least. I think at the 2-year mark, I could definitely get engaged, and I will definitely invite you to my engagement party.
She doesn't know who I am, does she? You've already screwed this for 2 years?
You don't think I could get engaged in 2 years? A man knows if he's going to marry you within the first, I think, honestly, 6 months.
Right. And men like that typically move that fast. 2 years is you. Because you're not ready. Because you're not ready. So the point
You're
of
right.
So I want you to understand something. I want you just cut your own throat. Because I've said it so long, 6 to 12 months is all it really takes, especially for men who know what they want, men of value in particular. They don't date for that long. That's why the chat room is going crazy. You don't even understand what you just said. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, let her go. And you just said, well, how long does it take? Well, he would know inside 6 months. Yeah, but you wouldn't be ready for 2 years. So a millionaire who's ready to go as a high value man has to wait on you for 2 years to get ready.
Definitely. Definitely not. If my boyfriend asked me to get married in 6 months, 8 months, I'm saying yes, and I'll still extend the invite directly to you in my
Look, I'm
feminine
not
way.
saying, I'm not gonna say, look, I don't, if you're with somebody, man, but I'm telling you right now, what I'm gathering from you is you know yourself. If he asks you, yes. If he asks you to marry him, good luck with it. Because you're not ready. Because, ma'am, be realistic. If you can make it, you can lose it. And if he doesn't have the money, you're gone.
If he makes that kind of money, who's to say?
You don't lie, ma'am. If he doesn't have it, you're gone. That's what this entire conversation has proved. If you don't have the Lux lifestyle, you're gone. Especially if you're younger.
Why?
Man,
Why am I
if he loses
gone?
this money in the next 5 years, you're gone because women like you would be like, well, shit, I have a few more minutes left on the shot clock. Let me go try to find another millionaire. Man, why do you think I can do this? Because I talk to women like you every day.
Why would I, and let's just be realistic, get married in 12 months, he falls off at 3 years. Why am I not able to pick? I've made millions, so why would I not be able to sustain our lifestyle at that level and still have a successful relationship? Why would
Because
I
you
not
wouldn't
be,
have respect for him.
why we're married? Why wouldn't I have respect for my husband?
Because, excuse me, man, you didn't have respect for the millionaire who was already paying for you years ago. Women, excuse me, you asked, hypergamy. You are extreme hypergamous. Women do not typically have respect for men they got to pay for. Is
You're
this
right.
person older?
Yes.
So you'd be paying for an older man to raise his kids, and you'd be respecting him and be feminine. You couldn't be feminine when you were younger with a millionaire. Guys, you can learn a lot from this because this is what I mean. It's the modern woman. And the point is, women, you have so little value in who we are as men. Go back 20 minutes ago. If I asked you to write out in detail who this man was, that piece of paper would damn near be blank. But if I asked you to write out your lifestyle, you'd write War and Peace. The man is interchangeable. As long as he has the lifestyle that can keep you entertained, but he has to be monogamous. But that's not his job. Your job is to be on his program. Your job is to keep him entertained. Your job is to stay his wife. And that's why I'm like, guys.
So if my job is to make his life easier, make him happy, and be his basically his trophy to show off because he is the prize, I'll go with that. Why am I not in a position in a marriage to respect him as a man that he, maybe need to take a step back? Why wouldn't we have a shift of power in a marriage? Yes.
Because if you end up having to pay the bills, that means you're not able to raise your children, and you're going to resent him for the fact that you can't be doing what you really want to do. Because you want to do what you want to do.
I think resentment is a strong word.
If you think I believe that you would go back and work 8, 10, 12 hours to make millions of dollars and be happy with dudes sitting up there at home with the kid, it doesn't work, man.
He would never sit there. And
man,
I just feel
does,
like my man
you're asked
would
okay, man. You're asked a question. If a man is making less than you, your respect is going to go down. The clock, gentlemen, understand something. This is why I tell you to make more than your woman. Because when there is a clock, when he stops making more money than her, that motherfucking clock starts ticking. The countdown to her being out. And one thing, ma'am, you would be out. You would be out. And that's not because that's what the world has told you ladies to do. If a man can't provide this, because the man himself, you ain't said nothing about who this man is, his character. It's been about the money and the lifestyle. Cool. That's why I said side chick. But a man, if he has any sense, he has to understand that you need to understand who this man is from a character standpoint and what he has to deal with. All we've talked about is you. You. And what I'm saying is this ain't too far off from what you described in the 3-year relationship.
But I'm bringing peace and making his life easier. So if he falls off on
who gets to determine whether or not you're bringing peace?
His attitude. where he doesn't have to worry.
Who gets to determine whether or not you're bringing peace?
His attitude, he decides that.
Right.
So I need you to
stop. The guy you were with for 3 years, if I asked him right now, hey man, did you experience her as a peaceful woman? He'd say what?
He would say yes. He would call me paranoid. He would say she's paranoid and she would not
You weren't
allow me to
submissive.
be a
You
man.
weren't submissive, but you were peaceful.
I was peaceful, but I wasn't allowing him to be a man. I was not allowing it because I was
That's
scared.
not peaceful.
I was scared.
Don't care.
Okay.
The outcome, man, whatever your motives were, the outcome is whatever it wasn't peaceful. And that's why I said, who gets to determine? The man does. And you're not listening.
But you don't think as a man he should have made me feel safe? Like in any way, shape, or form? You don't think it should be a man?
A millionaire make you feel, excuse me. No, and that's the problem. That's what that woman said last on Instagram. Modern women have been told that a man owes you everything, all of him, and he's supposed to make you happy, feel safe, and that ain't it. Here's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to make him feel. You are
correct.
Listen, man, this is a masculine attitude. You want a wife.
No, but I did learn from my mistakes.
Sure.
And that's what therapy was for.
Well, if this has been a practice test, you need to go back to therapy.
I'm there on Tuesdays.
Ma'am, you said it. If you didn't have the packaging, you wouldn't be asking for what you're asking for.
But again, like at least I'm to a point where I have learned from my mistakes and I'm able to see what
Why does a man in the top 1/10 of 1% have to accept an at least sign?
He doesn't.
Exactly, he doesn't. Thank you. He doesn't. That's my point, man.
But
That's
my
point. That is my point. As an 8, you have to compete with 9s, 10s, and adjustable 6s and 6s. All of those women who bring what you bring, many that bring more, and several of them are not at least on. Many of them have been raised to be the support system. Many of them have been told by their mothers, oh yeah, you get this man, you get the name on the insurance, on the da-da-da-da-da, but he's going to have a woman and a mistress and an executive assistant. You got 4 women you got to deal with to manage that 1 man, and you better be happy with it. Don't call me talking about you mad, you want to come home, I'm not going to hear it. I'm going to hang up on you and tell you to go bring my grandbabies to me. It ain't about you.
But why can't I help that $1 million man and be loyal and be, the housekeeper, the homekeeper, and the
What's
mother?
your job?
My job is from a laptop. I don't leave. I work.
No, what's your job as a wife?
My job as a wife is to take care of the home, to clean, cook, and care for.
What do you need to help him with?
Help him with his daily to-dos, like if his laundry's not done, if his breakfast is not ready, like his daily to-dos.
That's not
if he
helping
needs
him. That's just doing your job.
But I feel like as a wife, I'm making his day-to-day easier.
Man, you said how come you can't help him? Help him by doing what, your job?
I fill in the blanks. I fill in where he lacks. So what he needs in that situation, that $1 million man, what he needs from me, that's where I go in and I do what I'm asked.
And therein lies the rub. Say that last sentence.
I do what I'm asked.
Right. You have to be asked. The women who marry these men are proactive. They already know what to do.
Everything I know what to do, you're saying wasn't doing anything.
It wasn't. That's why you're not married to this day. Guess what? Because you weren't trained to be a traditional wife. You're trained to be a modern woman. That's why you said if I didn't look the way I did, if I had a different packaging, I couldn't ask for this. You can go back and listen to this yourself. And you need to pay me. Fuck your therapist. Because I'm giving you more to think about than anybody's couch will, because I talk to women like you daily. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any disrespect. You're not special. Key is, beauty is common. 1% men aren't. And what I'm saying is you're competing with women who don't have to be told what to do. They already know what to do and they're being proactive. They say, you're a cardiologist, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're this, you're that. You know, like, I'll give you an example. I spent my birthday with a high value man and his fiance that he met in my group. She shot her shot and she was a proactive solution to him, so much so that he's actually putting her into law school so she can go work for his practice. That's how that works. Not just not be pretty and be willing to do if you feel like it, but do what you've been trained how to do, taught how to do, and then study your man enough to know what needs to be done without being asked. You want a good example of what we're talking about? You ever watch Iron Man?
Yes.
Pepper fucking Potts.
Yes.
That ain't what I'm talking to right now, is it? I'm talking to the woman at the beginning. The woman that was
But
I
definitely feel like I can be the Pepper Potts.
Sure you can, but it's not, but here's the thing. It's not a matter if you can be, it's how long would it take?
I have to be proactive. I have one question though. Why can't a self woman work just like the man, and why can't I bring any income to the table?
Who's gonna raise your kids?
I can't do both from the computer at all. Like, it's not even a possibility in that type of relationship. Like a high value man, there's no possible way for a woman to bring
What's
in
the more important job, man? Okay, think about what you
raising the
just said.
children.
Why can't I work? What is more valuable to that man?
Raising our children.
Why are you still trying to go to work? Because that's what makes me feel valuable. Because it gives me input and control and power.
I just want to be able to do for my $1 million man the way that he does for me to some level. I just would like that.
And I ask you, what is important to him?
If what's important to him is, you know, birthdays
Raising
and
good
holidays.
kids is what's important to him. Not $100,000 more. See, the kind of man you're talking about, say, fuck the money you're gonna make, I'll go make another 150, 200, 500, another $1 million. Raise my children correctly. Give me my legacy. I'll make the money. You're still trying to be the husband.
I just want to know why I'm not able to in modern day society, but you're right. And
Why do you want to?
I just would like to try to make his life easier in any way, shape, or form. Like, why is that not?
What makes you think money is gonna? If he's making the ends of meet like a motherfucker, why does he need you for that for?
You're right. I'm just raising the kids.
That's my point. And you would be a better fit with the $80,000 a year guy, but you wouldn't respect it.
There would be a power problem, but
You wouldn't respect him.
Like being
But I want you to
proactive though, being proactive though in the right room, I can make $1 million man's life easier and raise our children.
Okay. Today you're
But
you're a side chick, a mistress, a fun girl. I'm not going to change that because your attitude is not appropriate for what these men want. It's not whether or not see the fact that you're still not okay. What if I'm right?
I definitely feel like in a lot of situations you are right. I just would like to know why $1 million man wouldn't want some type of anything. Like, why is there no possible way to do just even 70-30? Like, even just a 70-30 and I raise the children and maybe I pay for a birthday trip.
You ready?
Or maybe
You ready? You ready?
Yes,
Because
I would like to know.
it's you that values the money. It's you that values the lifestyle. The men who make this kind of money don't even spend money on themselves. They spend money on their kids, on their women. They walk around trying to get them to buy something for them. The only way I can get guys like this to buy something is I got to get their wife to get it because they make enough. You're trying to give him value the way he gives you value instead of being feminine and submissive and pay him that way. You're trying to pay him in a masculine provider way.
So, okay.
Your revenue is femininity and submission, the same thing you didn't give the first millionaire. You're trying to give a millionaire money. What the fuck? It's like trying to give a cow beef.
His love language was gifts. That's what I was.
Then suck his, ooh, Jesus.
He told me that. If we're being real, he said
His love language is gifts. Then dress up like a French maid. Did he say his love language is expensive gifts?
He liked gifts. He liked to be given gifts, like
Okay, but did you give him the gift of submission?
No.
That's the one motherfucking thing he wanted. You're the mother, you're the parent
That's why I learned.
I want a bicycle. I really want this bicycle. I want a bicycle. And you're the mother that buys the books, the clothes, the Play-Doh, the G.I. Joe, the video game and everything else. You buy everything else. And the kid is sitting there like, ooh, all that costs like 10 bicycles. I gotta have a bicycle. And they finally grow up and be like, Mama, I love you, appreciate it. And you know I appreciate it, but when I was 10, I really wanted this Green Lantern bicycle. And you bought all this other stuff and I loved it. But why didn't you take that money and just buy the bicycle?
And that's why I learned from my mistakes.
No, you got to answer the question. I didn't get you the bicycle because I wanted to see you with other things. I wanted to see you get what I wanted to give you. It's control. And this is not attractive. It makes good sex.
I learned that the hard way.
It makes great sex. It makes really, really good sex. That's why you find these men who have really pretty side chicks. You know, I think you're more or less, I don't think you're a housewife. Maybe when you grow up, you'll be an executive wife. Because you have to have some sort of power. Huh?
I definitely feel like once I have a child, I definitely will.
Will you have a nanny?
No.
Do you have a maid?
No.
An au pair?
An what?
An au pair.
What is that?
Somebody to help with the kids.
No, I'm going to take care of our
Do you have
children.
any pets?
We'll have maybe a dog.
Do you have any pets?
No.
Are you an only child?
No.
Have you ever babysat?
Yes.
What's the longest you've ever been with a 6 to 1 year old?
I was an overnight nanny for years, so for infants under the age of 2.
Okay. Maybe. You know, when women get pregnant, maternal instinct does happen. But I think, basically, man, you're going to get bored. You need to be in the mix.
Bored with my child?
You get bored, period. You get bored just on a Tuesday.
But I feel like as a mother, I don't have children, so I can't speak to the degree I want, but I just feel like when that opportunity is there and I have a child, I don't think that I would.
That's fine, but those children will eventually grow up to not need you to
and I'll have another.
They will eventually grow up to not need you to helicopter them. Then what does life look like?
Life looks like me and my $1 million husband traveling the world still.
No. Your $1 million,
Why?
oh Jesus. Your $1 million fucking dollar husband has to work because he does it boring. What I just
He's never going to retire?
What you're gonna get is you go, $1 million man marries you. You have his 3 kids, and his last child is 7 years old. The oldest is 10. They don't need to be tender-yeared anymore. Now you got kids, whether they're homeschooled or going to private school, they're not home every day. You've been out of the workforce. Your desire to go make money doesn't fulfill you and make you feel like you're contributing. What do you think? All of a sudden now the kids we're going to just travel? No, you can't travel until those kids are out.
Okay, so my children are now.
Well, what are you going to do between the years
PTA
7 and 18?
PTA meetings, cheerleading, soccer.
Remember, go back about 40 minutes ago, we talked about boring. And see, that's the thing. Men who make a lot of money have to live structured, consistent lives, which are boring. You like to be in the mix, man. That's why, and this is why we keep coming back to this money thing and this and that. we spent a lot of time here, and this has been informative, but I need you to understand that even though I've given her a lot, she's still going to do what she thinks is right, which is fine. But I'm gonna tell you, it's the mindset. Because here's the thing, you gotta ask yourself a question. If you get it in the room with these guys, and there are a finite amount of them, if you don't get them, then what?
If I don't get,
If you don't get a
$1 million
millionaire, then what?
then I would have to start taking discounts. That's the inevitable.
And how much of a discount? Right. So, at what age is that gonna happen?
I would say 29.
What is the price gonna be then?
85,000, I guess.
Oh, so
And
you
at
could
that
ask for
point-
$1 million at 27, but at 29 it's gonna drop to 85.
You're making me feel like my biological clock is ticking. So at
Well,
that
I didn't
point,
do that. That's your creator. I didn't do that. That's the creator.
But I mean, I feel like at 29, if I'm not if I'm not married by then yes, I would have to start understanding. Okay, I'm looking for $1 million man, and I haven't gotten one. What do I need to change about myself to get these men? And then again, like, I'm older now, so I need to take
Okay,
a
I got a
step
couple
back.
more questions though. What are you prepared to put up with? Because you say monogamy, you didn't really want that, but what are you willing to put up with for this? Because what else are you willing to put up with?
Long work hours.
Oh, that's standard.
So what is considered not standard for me to be able to?
Whatever the man has to do to make money, he has to continue to do that. But what I'm asking is, what are you willing to put up with? If he is, like I said, not having monogamy, are you willing to gladly accept it?
You already put me in the scenario of yes, I'm accepting that.
I'm not.
for my life.
I want to get it on the record. Are you willing to gladly accept it?
I don't think gladly is the correct term.
Well, if it's begrudging, then he's going to be passive aggressive. That's going to cause problems. That's why I'm like, if you want a man up here, you better understand it. It'd be better to understand it. This is likely what it's going to come with. And you might as well just be glad and accept. It's kind of like getting a shot.
Okay, so for this situation, yes, we will gladly take
okay,
the-
but that's only one thing. Then what else?
I need to know what else is the standard discounts that we're a woman.
What else are you willing to put up with this man? Because he comes and says, what if he is, how tall are you?
I'm 4'11".
Okay. What if he's has a dad bod?
A dad bod?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like that's something that can be changed, so that's not.
No, it's not changing. That's what he has.
Oh, that's just what he is for the rest of his life?
Yep. And he's only gonna get older.
Then yes, that's something I'm willing to put up with.
Okay, well, dad bod, what about if he starts to lose his hair?
That's definitely something I'm willing to put up with.
What about if you really can't have orgasms that frequently with sex? And we're talking less than 5% of the time. How about this? When you have sex, you got to actually pleasure yourself.
Consistently?
Oh, yes, consistent. And for an audience who thinks I'm joking, trust me, I'm asking these questions because, go ahead. Sex is about 15 minutes and it's about him.
That one's gonna be harder. We're not.
So you can't tolerate. So you need to have a good sex life.
I would say above average.
What if you got a little Johnson?
It's not the size of the wave; it's the motion of the ocean.
Women say that shit all the time, and then dudes with little dicks will tell you that's not true. Yeah, I can stop this bullshit. Bottom line is, I want you to understand. We've talked about his money. We haven't even talked about the man. What does he have? Does he have to look? Does he have to be very attractive? Or can he be average looking?
He can be average.
Like CeeLo Green.
Yes, he can be average.
Cool. And he can still have a mistress and mistress.
This
And all these
mistress
things compound, man. Because I asked you.
Are these public mistresses?
Yeah,
Or do I not
see,
know
man,
about it?
see, what I'm trying to get you to understand is what else. See, for what most women think I'll accept that, but that's just one thing. Life goes on.
I just
Life,
want to know if I'm accepting a public mistress.
sure,
Public?
you would know about it, not necessarily public, but you would know. But it's not like he throw it in your face and try to humiliate you. That you don't have to accept that. It comes with rules.
Public humiliation.
I said it does not. I just said that that's not good for his brand. So no public humiliation, but you would know. You'd have her phone number, email address, everything else. You'd actually can call him. He's over there every Wednesday night.
So at this point, we have a mutual understanding. So yes.
This is how it happens, man. And see, what I'm saying is women who have the kind of lifestyle you're talking about know it comes with a man who has to work a certain way, do a certain thing, and he's not going to get everything from you. And your job, and so I think it's interesting that women want everything from this man. I was like, you not realize that these men are going to have other interests, and a lot of these women aren't getting the best sex, they're getting average sex, if at all. Maybe you don't get it as often. Are you happy with having a relationship with his money and not the man? Because more often than not, he ain't gonna be around.
I appreciate a man that is providing for us. So yes.
Okay.
Let's not take
What
it
I'm
out
trying
of
to get you to
context.
understand is you got to think about the man and the environment that comes with it. Men who make a lot of money work long hours. They got a lot of commitments. They got a lot of responsibilities. They have a lot, and as a woman, the way you started this conversation is you got a lot of demands for a man. I'm like, then you need to have a man that's around average. You can't be talking about a man up here. You can't make all those demands of that guy. Because he'll just find the women who already understand that. All right, man. And to whoever you're in a relationship with, man.
Thank you so much for having me on. I feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah, send me a cash out my money.
Now I'm gonna send you a candle. Don't even worry about it.
No. I want no candle. Fuck candle. I buy my
Why?
Send my money. Send my money. Send my
lot.
goddamn money. I don't want no candle. I want my money. Fuck all that. You can play that cute girl shit with your dude. I want my money.